Libra's 7th house placements. This reading is also great if you have Venus near your ascendant. Also, you might be a Taurus rising, and then you have a Venus ruled ascendant. But yeah, 7th house placements as well. Or if you just feel called, or if you're just cross watching. I feel like stuff I said during the Gemini reading is kind of universal and good for anyone. So if you just feel called to a reading, or you know, for some reason you have an affinity for my shenanigans, then welcome. And if you are new here by any chance, thank you for watching. I'm Susie. Okay, I'm Susie, and I'm a trauma-informed astrologer and metaphysical practitioner. And we like to focus as much as we can on empowerment and what that thing is that you need to know. So like if there are any blocks, that's what we like our cards and messages to tell us. Okay. Let's see what Libra, and this energy is good for whenever you find it. Like, you know, you end up watching an old reading or something. That's fine. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, Libra. That is interesting. That is interesting. But this is just the December, January reading. So we have Judgment in reverse. Now, Judgment, past, present, future. I often see Judgment in reverse as something you missed. And, you know, we have a, you know what, ton of stuff in retrograde. Mercury just went in retrograde. Jupiter's still in retrograde. Neptune just came out of retrograde. Uranus is still in retrograde. Feel like this Judgment, and I'm going to clarify it. I feel like this Judgment in reverse, and just, I should show you the card because it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at those beautiful wings. Is possibly because Judgment is usually, it's the three buglers of past, present, future. It's taking a good examination of what cycles have happened in the past, what you can do now to affect what tomorrow looks like what you have control over too. And like that big message, it's a big deal when you get this card, because it's time for a post-mortem on your own behavior and on cycles and other people's behaviors. So we have two major, your reading has two major arcana and two court cards, and that's the only one in reverse. So it's possible that because of an old cycle, you might have said no to something before that is possibly in your best interest. Then we have a Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Now, normally, not a big fan of the Knights. I don't mind the Knight of Pentacles, and this Knight of Pentacles looks like the Fool. Then we have the Knight of Cups, which is this very almost sad. She looks like she's burying something. This is lamenting. This is having attachment and nostalgia. So like a knight comes in to, like, you know, they're usually passing through, right? So like the Knight of Swords sometimes drops information on us or says that thing, the panty dropper, and Knight of Wands can be a panty dropper too. Like, you know, and usually I call the Knight of Cups a love bomber. We are in Mercury in retrograde in Capricorn. We're going to have a really interesting full moon in Cancer coming up a couple of days after Christmas, or the night after Christmas, depending on where you live. And that is going to be sextiling Jupiter. Very Santa Claus-y kind of moon. You could have somebody that, out of nostalgia, out of sweetness, This Knight of Cups comes to like remind you, touch a part of you, try to stir something up. They're going to be slow moving though. I don't think this is like the whole move. This isn't the like, I was a fool, let's make this work kind of thing. But if you've been waiting for somebody to, feels like this is almost like a close call that you had with somebody. And I don't mean like a close call in a bad way. I mean, it feels like something almost happened. Now, for some of you, this could be with the Knight of Pentacles and Judgment. We also have the Fates, which is Wheel of Fortune. This is just this deck's version of it. So interesting, isn't it? So we have the Fates, which is a number 10. It's a closing of a chapter, not a closing of a whole book. So we have re-examining something that we couldn't see because of past cycles that now we have another opportunity to look at. We have a very slow moving knight that wants to be there for a long time, not just a good time, but whether they're like a little emotional or they're lamenting or they're a little nostalgic or they, sometimes people love bomb us a little bit, whether it's like with nostalgia or with this care, or they're letting you know that like you're so precious to them kind of thing, which is very interesting. They can really mean it when they say it to you, but what they're not examining with their own judgment is their own cycles of maybe, it's the reaction that they can get. It's the, I don't want to say an ego stroke because yes, but not in a completely egotistical, narcissistic type of way. I don't see this person as narcissistic, Libra. I do see them as I feel them as a little misguided. And Libra, some, some people will call it like diplomacy. A lot of times too, like the words are so nice that it feels less direct and can be confusing. We talked about this in a Libra reading, I want to say last month, maybe the month before, where sometimes Libra wants everything to sound so nice. They came from a childhood of fighting and mean words and harsh words that were meant to zing. And so sometimes even if in the privacy of a conversation when no one's around, they have tons of pejoratives and expletives and four-letter words to use about this person. They'll still want to be like really polite, and sometimes they can be, they're run by Venus. Sometimes they can be their words are very pretty, but sometimes it leads to a far less direct understanding of where everybody stands. I feel like between now and the end of January, this person's gonna I think they're gonna take your temperature by coming in with this kind of, it might be a little woe is me. They might look to like trauma bond a little bit about exes with you, about how they never, you never got what you were supposed to get from a relationship. And I've dealt with those same kind of people, that kind of thing. Like they want to have a post-mortem, whether that's about, they want to take this old thing out and unwrap it and look at it lovingly and carefully. But the knight is not the most mature energy. It's more mature than a page. We have the fates here. Something's going to change. Okay, let's get some clarification. I really, oh man. All right, let's look at this judgment card. Let's see, what are you looking at that you couldn't maybe see clearly before? Six of Swords. You might have been trying to stay, which is very Libran, in a situation that was not nice to you. Emperor. Okay. So we have this like large in charge. The Emperor is the CEO of the tarot. Very sexist way to look at it. But you know, and the Empress is the CEO as well. They're just the masculine, feminine energy expressions of that. And the feminine is just kind of like she sits in the knowing, and the Emperor kind of wants to boss everybody around a little bit. There's a little bit more of egocentric, maybe a tiny little bit more of like the narcissism run ego in the Emperor than there is in the Empress. And we have the Six of Swords. They're my holographic cards, so sorry if the light is bugging out. With this Judgment. So with you looking at a cycle that you couldn't see before, you may have had your own ego death. There may have been something that you were so stubborn and so mad at somebody else and talking about like, I can't believe they did that. I never saw that coming. You know, I would have thought better of them. And all of that can be unequivocally true. That all of that can be, you could be 100% not wrong about any of it. And also, too much focus on somebody else, too much focus on a villain puts us in the victim mode, and it's really hard to heal and grow in victim mode. At some point, you are leaving a situation. Whether the situation is over, sometimes we stay emotionally, mentally, verbally, we're processing still, right? And if you're a verbal processor, you're an air sign. It's highly likely that you are a verbal processor, right? I mean, depending on your Mercury, but possibilities are high. For the Libra that wants to like give everything to make something work, you could have been dealing with an Emperor that you're leaving that situation where you realize that like that was narcissism. And because you were so willing to do whatever it took, that is fertile ground for a narcissist to plant whatever they want to plant to satisfy their own, you know, their own stuff. But I feel like you left the situation now. Again, the situation could be over, but you're just now mentally, emotionally like allowing yourself the escape from the cage of whatever that was. And now there's new opportunities for you. This does not have to be romantic. But you know, the Knight of Cups too, this lamenting, this unwrapping, this like nostalgia, this like post-mortem, like let's talk about let me unwrap this thing and unearth it. We can talk about it, and I will be vulnerable and it'll be romantic. You know, I kind of feel like that is probably love in one way or the other. It could be romantic love, but I'm not sure. Let's I think that's the next card I'm going to want to clarify. All right. Okay, now we make sense. There's a Queen of Wands in reverse here for you. Four of Wands. The situation that you either just now left or you were still trying to make it work. I talked about in Gemini's reading, they you know, one of the sayings in about trauma is that like if you're wondering whether you just had a not perfect childhood or whether you actually are carrying trauma, think if you've ever tried to convince somebody to treat you better so that you could stay, or convince somebody that you're not worthless, that you're worth staying for them not to leave or for them to treat you better. And when I say better, I mean decent. If you've ever done either of those two things, bingo on the board that you have trauma that's not worked out yet. When we have a Queen of Wands in a love situation, I already have two knights, and now here's the Queen, there's an Emperor, Four of Wands, there's the Fates, there's Judgment in reverse, and we have that Six of Swords, which means leaving choppy waters for smoother waters. Ding dong, the witch is dead. I love a Queen of Wands when it's about you. I love a Queen of Wands when it's in the upright. There's a lot of times I love a Queen of Wands. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is kind of a couple and it's not a good one. This is somebody that gaslights you while they've made you, and I'm sorry, Libra, but, and this may not be for everybody, but whether this is a friendship, whether this is a business thing, whether this is a relationship, there was a third person. The Queen of Wands is often my symbol for the interloper. But this Queen of Wands took a while to get out of your way. And by the time it's out of your way, I don't know that you're interested in convincing this person that you're the thing that they want to choose. Again, whether it's a friendship, a family thing. But the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is an interesting card, especially with the rest of these cards, especially in reverse. For me as a reader, the Queen of Wands could come in to your relationship as an interloper and make you feel like the side piece, make you feel like the third party somehow. I think you're done with being gaslight. There's another, I don't know if this is the same person. Kind of just want to ask my pendulum, but maybe we'll do that in the extended reading. Let's get one more clarification. I just want to know, is the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, is that the same person or is it a different person? Because, you know, the Judgment in reverse, I'm not mad at. We have a gorgeous, gorgeous Four of Wands and the Fates, the closing of a chapter. I mean, the closing of a chapter and the Six of Swords together, there's definitely an ending here, and it's by your hand in a good way for your, you know, for your betterment. We have a crappy Emperor and a crappy Queen of Wands in reverse. Good riddance to both of you. They can have each other. I don't think they want each other anymore either. Oof. Again, Libra, 7th house placements. Venus near the ascendant or a Venus run ascendant. Okay, that's our card. Yeah. Okay. I wanted clarification whether this was the same person or not. And I got the King of Cups in reverse. King of Cups in reverse for me. I think this is the same person. I think they are very slow. We got King of Cups in reverse to me is the creme brulee. Is the Capricorn with a Cancer moon or a Cancer with a Capricorn moon. It is often they are big mush, but they vet everyone and everything. I said in the beginning, I feel like you're being tested. I'm feeling like to see if you take the bait. I don't feel like this person, whoever this is, it's gonna come forth by the end of January and say, I don't think they're gonna say like, let's make this work. Like we could have been a couple, you know, this could have been somebody that it was an almost kind of situation. You both went on to other people. I think they probably maybe we're patiently waiting for you to be over this other thing. But they're going to move slow. I mean, King of Cups is the most mature of that water energy. They've done their PhD on attachment. They have done the masterclass on attachment. But King of Cups in reverse is somebody their battle wounds have brought boundaries in a way, in a way that, you know, like I said, they're creme brulee and they're going to vet you hard, meaning I think they want to see. And again, I don't feel like this person's fully ego, but I feel like They're gonna, that creme brulee is gonna feel a little safe with you, and they might lament your big, not a red flag, but your big sign that this is who I'm talking about, and this reading is gonna be if they want to like talk about like their exes and how they've like opened up that whole conversation on how the relationship should be and how they want to treat somebody and how they want to be treated, because they're looking for your reaction. And again, Knight of Pentacles is not here for a good time. They are here for a long time. We have this Four of Wands and the Fates. Oh, Libra, if you are not with your marriage partner now, I don't say this often, this could be, or that's what they want, whether you feel like that is death in reverse. I was just going to say that. And I was like, Susie, that's so convoluted. You stop thinking that. That sounds like a soap opera. You're wrong. I doubt myself all the fucking time. Welcome to my Virgo placements. It's the death card upside down. I'm thinking this King of Cups coming slowly could be, because you know how I kept saying like you might have just like mentally, emotionally left this thing that's been done, and there was a third party, whether there was like physical stuff going on with a third party. There was somebody like going like, you know, when you're single, you could be with me and we're perfect together. Thinks their shit don't stink. I really want this to be a new person for you. You'll notice I didn't answer a yes or no when I asked the question, are those two different people? I just started talking about the King of Cups because I don't really feel like it's clear. Maybe we'll find out in the extended. But here's the death in reverse, which is something that you had said, absolutely no, like you couldn't pay me. And then all of a sudden now they're trying to resurrect it. And you might be, they might have kept you like on pause. They might have kept you on like, not made you a priority. And now they're like, baby, I will make you a priority. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Let's get a price of love card. And then we'll look more into this in the extended, which there'll be a poll up on the channel for members. The extended is for memberships. Any level of membership gets access to all 12 extendeds for the month. It's like $2.99. It's not like $2.99. It's $2.99 for that lower level, and it comes with a bunch of other stuff. If you're interested, all the stuff's like in the description. Okay. Well, that clearly was healing. That is the card that came out. I don't know that you're gonna have answers right away. I don't know that you're gonna have answers right away for whatever's this. I mean, we have the death in reverse, and we have this Knight of Cups that's like, let me dig up this old thing so that we can examine it together. Very interesting. I don't know that I've ever been more like excited to do an extended. Yeah. So if you're watching this and you're a member, the poll will go up later today, and then it'll be out either Friday or Saturday. It's today Thursday, today's Thursday. It'll be out Saturday. It will not be out tomorrow because I like to leave the poll up for like a day. All right, Libras, I love you, now you love you. And also look on the page for there's gonna be a big holiday party with tons of prizes and like 3 mini classes even, but like fun mini classes, like 7-10 minute mini classes. And everybody leaves with at least one prize. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.